if-else statements. So if-else statements is also known as decision-making statements. Even if we think with our common sense, this is a simple English phrase. If this condition is met, this thing will happen, else this will happen. So in a layman language, that is this simple. So let's go through our points. If else helps make decision. It can have multiple conditions and the true ones execute. For example, if your age is 18 or less. If your age is 18, it will say your age is 18, you can vote. If your age is less than 18, it will run the else block, which will say you are not eligible, or something else. We can customize it however we want. Here's a diagram, flowchart to be specific, to show how this thing works. We come from this, we meet a condition. If the condition is true, it will follow this path. The code inside the if body will be executed and it will be out of the if else block. If not, if the condition is false, then the code inside the else body will be executed and the if else block will be ended. So this is what if else statements are. So let's write two programs to better understand it. Common programs which can help us uh, easily get what if else statement are. One of the program is biggest of three number and another program is eligibility program. So let's hop on to it. Now we are in our VS code. So let's write our first program. Biggest of three numbers. So we need three numbers. So we will declare the numbers ourselves. We can also take user input, but this would be rather quick than taking the numbers from users. So our A is 10, B is 20, and C is 30. Now for the condition. If A greater than B and A greater than C. If our A is greater than B and our A is greater than C, we will print A is the biggest among 3. We don't give semicolons in Python language, so remember that. So now, I only thought you else block, if and else, but I also said that there can be multiple conditions. So what we will be using here? We will be using, if you have worked with other languages, we will call it else if, but in Python, it's different. We will call it elif. Elif meaning else if, it is a shorthand thing. So elif, our B is greater than A, and if our B is greater than C, we will print B is the biggest among 3. So now we are remained with just one condition, which is that If both of these condition is not satisfied, our other code should run. Okay, so let's write a else block and print C is the biggest among 3. So let's save this program and let's run this. Let's see the output. C is the biggest among the 3 because our A is 10, B is 20 and C is 30. If we let's make B 200. Save the program and run the program once again. Now the B is the biggest among 3, so our program is working. What if we give 200 has A? So still the B is the biggest. Let's give this. I am giving alphabetic values. So let's give strings. Writing anything which comes to my mind, because let's test this, right? C is the biggest. What is the error here? So it is executing the else block regardless of whether the number we enter a number or not, because we are not checking the else condition. That's why we will write another condition. In future, I will tell you a technique of handling these type of exceptions. In future video, there is a concept in programming languages called exception handling. Uh, Less about it in this video. I will make a specific video on that topic. For this, we will write another condition, like just patching up and trying to keep holding all things together. So we don't want this to happen. So what we will do is, with our knowledge as beginners, we will just write another elif block. If C is greater than A and if or C is greater than B, then this line of code we will put it here, and in our else we will say print, and let's be a little technical and say invalid input. So let's save this, run it. It's still saying C is biggest among 3's. Why? Saying that. So apparently in Python, it doesn't matter if you give it a wrong value. The same code will work in any other programming language because they have data types. But in Python, we don't declare the data types. That's why even if we give the strings, it is comparing the strings. The logic behind it is C letter is in a greater position than the A and the B. So that's the logic behind it. So let's change it to numbers again. Let's give it a random symbolic value. Maybe the program will not run at all. Okay, program will not run at all. That's, I think our efforts were futile. Let's run our C is the biggest. Yes, C is the biggest. So this is a healthy way of doing things, the else block. But in Python, I think it's futile whether you write it or not. I thought I was considering myself a genius after doing this, but now I feel dumb. So I also told you that we will be writing two programs, not just one. So let's start with our next program. Let's say practice2.py. So in this program, we will be writing a simple voting eligibility uh, system. So let's make one. So we will say we will take the input from the user this time. We will say user, let's use small variable names. And we will take integer input as your name. So when user will enter his name, we will check if age is greater than or equivalent. You are eligible to vote. Okay. So in our else statement, age greater than, oh, we don't do that, right? We will write print, you are not eligible to, and here we don't need to check for the if user has entered a number or not, because we are taking an integer value from user. But I want to teach you one more thing here. Okay, so this will be very interesting for new guys who haven't learned programming concepts in any other programming language. So we learned that there can be multiple conditions, right? We did a if, elif, and else block. We can do 4, 5. That's called the if-else ladder. And one in front of you right now is called a simple if-else. But there is one more variation to it. There's one more form of if-else. That is called nested if. So for a nested if, let's take a value from user. Let's say uh, ask equal to input. Do you have a voter ID? Okay, let's ask our user this. And while we ask that, let's write a if statement to check this. Ask, if ask is equals to, do we write double equals to in a Python? Let's check. Yes. Then indentation, we must give indentation. Only when this is true, our program will execute. Let's run this program. I'm a little nervous. Will it work or not? Okay, it worked. Enter your name. Oh, a foolish grammatical error on my side. Sorry for that. We must ask user his name. So these syntax errors also have problems. So let's say we are 18. Do you have a voter ID? Say yes, you are eligible to vote. But let's check a few exceptions now. Let's say, okay, we are 18. Do you have a voter ID? No, I don't have one. Okay, it didn't do anything. What happened? Why didn't it do anything? Why didn't it redirect itself to the else block? Because we already satisfied this if condition, so it's already entered this if. So a if else block, as I have shown in this diagram, as you can see here, condition is true, code inside this block will execute and directly it will exit the if else block. It will not go to the else part. Check it. uh, okay, so now what we can do for the solution here. One immature solution will be beginner level amateur would do this. But what a pro will do? Actually, I will not. I don't know what a pro will do here. We will go into complexities in the upcoming videos. For now on, let's think like this and let's see if it worked. Let's say our age is 18 and I'm not eligible to vote. You are not eligible to vote. That is our answer. So let's check our else condition as well. Let's run this program again. Let's like clear this. Let's run our program again. Okay. We will say we are 12. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's not checking. Is it? Why is it asking do I have a voter ID? What is the mistake that we have done here? We are asking questions simultaneously. So it will definitely ask this after this question. So this line of code is not in the right place where it should be. Mm, it should be inside here. This is the right place for it to belong. Now let's rerun our program and check for if it worked. Let's say we are 12. You're not eligible to work. Tada! It worked. So we went through some gruesome errors. We went through some hardships learning this, but we learned it. That's the happy part. So in the next video, we will probably go on with the for loop and for each loop, and there is also while loop. In other programming languages, there is do while loop, which is somewhat of a goat for game developers. But in Python, we don't have do while loop. In the upcoming videos, we will also go into some complex topics uh, for people who are new to programming. These topics look conceptually, theoretically, programmatically, they are very easy. If they are not, I will make them for you. For now, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel and hope you're doing well. Leave the answer to that question in the comments. Thank you very much.